Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Xionos and I've got a very cool replay commentary for you guys. Today with Kotl, Keeper of the Light, Gandalf of Dota 2. And I chose this video for multiple reasons. The first reason is there is a lot of fun stuff going on in the first 5 to 10 minutes. And also for the newer players, to give you a little bit of an impression how to play an effective support. And Keeper of the Light is one of my overall favorite heroes because of his flexibility, lane pushing capabilities, and overall awesomeness. That's also why I bought this cool set for him, as you can see here. Like, he looks like a Christmas man. But yeah, focus on the game here, because there's already some weird shit going on, right? What are the enemies doing here near the tier 2 tower? What the fuck is going on? So that actually can sometimes happen in pub matches, that they want to eliminate the first waves so the tier 1 tower can get easily destroyed. But as you can see, I could nicely push them back with my Illuminate. Also, if you're not used to this hero yet, or if you don't know how to play this hero, I would suggest that you check out my guide I did for him a while back. I will also put an annotation in the description below. And as you can see, I got first blood in this game by killing X. So this was a little bit strange, because first of all they went very over aggressive and didn't execute this well. Especially Crystal Maiden should have locked down me, maybe as a support, because they know that with my Illuminate I can pretty much damage a lot. And as you can see, Crystal Maiden is super squishy, and with my Illuminate and Patch's Rod we could also easily get another kill. So a lot of action in the first 1.5 to 2 minutes. I can barely even keep up with all of this awesome action here. Otherwise, pretty standard support gameplay. Now I try also to ward the forest to give us a little bit of vision if they want to initiate again. As well, standard on the rune spot bottom. So I have to check here to free camera to show you again. So I put a ward here and another one here. So there's also an enemy ward here, so they had vision if we would like sneak around or something like that. So talk about his overall skilling and item build. So what I usually like to do is play him as a standard support. So what I also did here again, I do not stack the camp, because first of all this was not a very well executed pull, but the goal was to push back again the enemy wave, because we pushed now a lot because of the recent team fight we had. So we wanted to balance again the overall situation by pulling, meaning we can get back the creep line to our tower and make sure we have a more balanced farming opportunity. So we just pushed back everything to our tower again. And that's also why I just clear this camp here and make sure at least some creeps help me here and we can get back to a normal situation. So coming to how do I like to skill Keeper of the Light, I will also put a description of my favorite build. So I play him as a standard support, buying wards, sometimes also in early game get gauntlets for better survivability, and then max out Illuminate first, and then Chakra Magic to support your teammate as much as possible. And also something very important I want to talk about also in this game is the overall usage of Illuminate. Because if you execute this well enough, it can be devastating for the enemy and they usually retract. So this is my first try I wanted to do. Usually you stand here or a little bit on top. Later I show you that in a second. And what you do from a safe spot, you try to push your Illuminate into the enemy farming spots around here. There's also, maybe I pause the game quickly and show you the different spots. So the idea, let's go to free camera. So the idea is you stand either here. Oh, I cannot ping. So you stand either here or here and then push your channel your Illuminate down here or down here. And if the enemy doesn't ward here and doesn't pay attention, it means that you can easily execute a nice Illuminate and drain a lot of health early game. And for example, in combination with a player like Alchemist, with a hero like Alchemist, it's easy. It's an easy chain kill where I Illuminate, he stuns, and we get a kill. So for the Radiant side, we do this usually around here in the forest. So you stand either here or here. You can also, if the lane is pushed a little bit, hide here and illuminate kind of down there. For the top lane, there's also a very easy spot. It's around here, and then you can illuminate down there, or you can stand here if you're on the dire side and illuminate down there. So this is something you also should train if you play Keeper of the Light, because that can really turn around the entire early game for you and your team. And this is also something I think I executed rather well in this game. This is also why I show it. Alright, let's jump back into the game.
Regeneration.
So you see, I also try to hide a little bit here. So Crystal Maiden, I know Crystal Maiden is sneaking around somewhere here. I don't see her, as you can see, but I know she should be around here somewhere. And because of my Illuminate, it forces the enemy to stay behind a little bit. Now you nicely see how also Zeus is running in there and getting a lot of damage. Also early game, I refill my mana pool. It depends on the enemy hero composition and your team hero composition. Also, if you want to recharge the mana pool of your teammate, but as you have seen, there was actually no problem with the mana pool of Alchemist. Another not so well executed pull. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late because Alchemist during the fighting here, he just said to me, come on, let's go back and pull again, so I was a little bit late. So my first item here is Tranquil Boots, because I already got a pretty decent amount of gold from my 2 kills I already got so far in the first 3 minutes. Then what I try to do here is block a little bit and get a better equilibrium of the overall lane composition. Then I'm a little bit hesitant staying back, and that is maybe an error I did here, because I pretty much let Alchemist die at this point. Then I try to pull again, at least that we can clear this goddamn camp. So this pull was much better. So let's see what we can pull off here. And also if you can get a kill. Yeah, not much. Also something I have to point out here is that it is important in early game also not to spam Illuminate too much against the enemy creep wave, because you can, like that, push the enemy creep wave a lot and deny farm of your laning partner. Also something else I should have done is clear the easy camp where I pulled. But yeah, that's also something you only realize when you watch your replays. But overall you can see we got 3 kills, the enemy got 2 kills so far, pretty much even. Alchemist had a little bit of a disadvantage in the early game because he died, but overall we're doing just fine. I soon will get my magic wand, and then I will, let's see, that was a very nice stun, and boom. So this was very well executed. We should see that again, because we coordinated this one. So let's go back again. This is how you do it. So Alchemist pinked at Zeus, and I knew, okay, he's charging up. Alright, that means for me, Illuminate, wait for the stun, and get the kill. So this was a very nicely executed kill from both of us here. Sorry. I was a little bit sick recently, that's also why my voice is a little bit fucked up. Sorry about that. Okay, something about the skills, maybe also about the usage. So as I've already told you, Illuminate usually is good to push back the enemies a little bit, to make them afraid, because you can pretty much drain a lot of health early game. Then Mana Leak is something that should totally be focused on core intelligence or core magic heroes that need magic spells, so you can pretty much deny them.
Missing bottom.
And Spirit Form is also a very nice tool to defend and to be offensive, because what you can do with Spirit Form is also to use Illuminate while running away. You will also see that later. So Alchemist is trying to get again into the game by farming in the jungle, and I observe what Crystal Maiden is doing, because she's overall super squishy and she's totally running into my stun. And my Illuminate, we can actually get a nice stun, but we can unfortunately not get a kill. And I'm staying all the time in the lane now, because I know actually that Alchemist should, in theory, go to jungle and farm. And also you see this Illuminate forced actually the enemy back, because Crystal Maiden knows that she's super squishy and she cannot afford to run in like that. And if I'm correct, unfortunately I missed this one, but as you can see, if they would have sticked around here, I would have gotten another kill. But there, a very nice stun from Alchemist, and a very easy kill for me. And I nearly died from the tower damage. So that's why I decide to beam back, regain health, and jump back into the game. So I completed my magic wand, and what I want to get next is standard mechanism. First I usually get headdress, and then bucklers, and then just to build my mechanism. So 9 minutes into the game, overall pretty decent. You can also look at the overall economy. So I changed back to free camera. Yeah, Alchemist had a little bit of trouble in this lane composition. So let's check out the overall difference in experience. We got more experience also because of the early kill count. Then overall gold as well. So far we're doing pretty decent. So let's see how we can execute this one. And you see how I do this. I always stay in the shadows, so they never know when I will use my Illuminate. And I'm not sure if actually Alchemist will die again, because Zeus can be a pain in the ass, as you all know. Alright, let's go back to player perspective.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
And get this set. I love it. It's fucking awesome. Look at this. Christmas Gandalf. Also, something that's pretty cool is recall, and that's also why I actually activated it here, because I was not sure if they will survive on top, because then you can just rescue your teammates. I also saw that there is something fishy going on around the rune spot, but I just decided to farm as much as I can. So my Illuminate here, sorry, my Spirit Form here was actually only used because I was thinking that maybe I could rescue somebody. Okay, Slark is thinking about a kill here, maybe. Let's see if they want to go in. So this is a pretty dangerous situation for me right here, being alone here. Alchemist is too far away in the jungle. That's also why I retracted to the safety of my tower. Recharge my mana pool and just wait and see what's going on. Alchemist is trying to go in and help me, so I decide to use my Illuminate again, but then I had to retract, unfortunately. And Alchemist was a little bit in between fights and probably dies again. That's an unfortunate situation for him. That was maybe overall unfortunate positioning and execution also from my side. And do I die here? I maybe die here. That's also something that is very important. Use your what is it called again? Blinding light, actually to push away enemies. That's also why I use my ultimate now. Push away the enemies and make sure they cannot kill you. So that actually saved my goddamn ass here.
This should be interesting.
Whoa, where am I focusing? So let's go back to free camera. Okay, there we go. Recharging, and let's see what we can do.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
I decided to go top and push top in this situation, actually.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
So overall hero level, Ricky pretty much had a easy game here. Can we get him here? I don't remember. Let's see, gold permitted. Yeah, Ricky was pretty much free farming this whole game.
Quicker shadow follows.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Let's watch and see what happens.
So as it seems, now the action is going to happen mid, in the middle lane, because they want to push this tower. And yeah, overall for the team, Ricky is doing pretty well. The enemy is not buying any countermeasures against Ricky. That's also pretty bad. So they should have totally bought at least Dust of Appearance or something. Ah, there we go. But anyways, doesn't help much. Ah, no, they get a kill here. I also nearly died there. And that's a little bug actually with the... Very nice. So that's actually a bug with my set I equipped. Sometimes you still are not in the spirit form, although you are visually. And that's always something you need to do actually when you defend. Try to stay behind the enemy line. So I switch quickly to free camera and explain you this again. Also something that is very good about Keeper of the Light was this situation before here where I stood behind and charge in another Illuminate, because like that you can really damage the enemy, and as I just did, get an easy kill sometimes. Alright, warding again like a pro. What a goddamn support is supposed to do. Goddamn 10 minutes ago. So we decided to go in for what is that name? It's good, it's good. Where's the stun? God damn it! Invisibility. Where was Alchemist's stun? But he's pretty much dead. Ah, but that will not reach him anymore. Is he dead? Yes, he is. Very nice. Here you see what I meant before with if you are in spirit form. So if you use Illuminate, you can charge it up and run away, and then it stays there and executes the Illuminate spell. But it also depends how long you yourself charge it up. So the longer you also stay there and charge it up, the longer it also will, so that the more damage it will deal. Okay, that was kind of a kill steal right there.
Bad news for you fans of towers out.
But that's always something I also tell other people. Rather get a kill and do something for your team instead of not getting a kill at all. And here I'm a little bit stupid and just standing in Crystal Maiden's ultimate. That's not something you should do. Will I die here? I am not sure. It doesn't look very good. So that blinding light didn't go well. And that was a little bit a badly executed team fight of our team. But overall, if we look at the overall kill count, it's actually even. I got 4 kills, 1 death, pretty good, and Ricky is out of control so far, and he also will be out of control the entire game. So he will then actually pretty much carry this game. Although it's really funny if you think about it that the enemy did not use any big countermeasures against Ricky, because if you just know what you're doing, Ricky is pretty easy to counter. So I decide to go top and push top tower together with Pudge. And that's something that is very cool about Keeper of the Light. You can push so easily, just charge up and boom. You get your farm and you push towers, so that's pretty awesome. That's also something if you if you want to get items fast a little bit later into the game, just push a little bit lanes, create space, meaning that you have to split up, push other lanes, and like that the enemy has to react and also split up on their own. So I know Pudge is a little bit in trouble, so I charged up. Unfortunately I messed up the damage dealt myself a little bit. And unfortunately Pudge had to die. Let's see if I can survive this here. So this was a little bit bad positioning from my side. And that's really annoying about X. You have to fight against him, that's super annoying. Yeah, standard Zeus, right? Ultimate and dominating.
Dire's middle tower is under siege.
So this definitely could have gone a little bit better here. If he wouldn't have been so offensive, maybe also warded here in the nearby jungle, things would have gone differently. That's always something you have to keep in mind when you create space or when you split up. Especially also if you're doing it alone as a support, it's pretty dangerous actually. Because the enemy sees that immediately and knows, okay, that could be an easy kill, let's go for it. But again, we tried to split up, to push all three lanes, to create space in this situation and also make sure that we somehow get a tower soon. Because now it's the situation again where we have to turn around. We had a decent early game, from my point of view. And also from my hero's point of view, because I got a lot of kills early. But now we really need to push and also make sure to sustain this level that we can actually win the game. Otherwise we throw it.
You don't even care, do you?
And that's also why I decided to just push, really use my Illuminate as much as I can and push the lanes. Meanwhile, Alchemist is just farming in the jungle and trying to get back. And Ricky is just doing fine. So I saw that there is now an opportunity because 3 enemy heroes are down. So there's a nice opportunity now to push top again. Because anyway, as you can see, the lane is pushed on its own. So that should be a rather easy kill. Okay, I actually saw another countermeasure against Ricky, an observer ward, but it didn't help in the end. So Crystal Maiden apparently used dust and observer wards, but still Ricky was totally overfarmed and got a lot of kills. I think even 22 kills in the end or something like that. Alright, together with Dazzle we try to push this motherfucker. Giving mana like a pro. Maybe he gives me a tango. Alright. Nice hook. Easy peasy. Easy kill steal. Red Dota. And now I try to charge up as much as I can, also as a defensive measure, to make sure that they don't get Dazzle here. And I think I could rescue Dazzle pretty nicely. I don't know if he will survive this whole thing. I also tried to block a little bit. Activated my mechanism, used mana leaks, so he's not able to do something. And unfortunately I died, but they could get the kill. I'm not sure about Slark. Can you get him? He's pretty he's pretty much running around. He's diving like a pro. He just wanted to get that motherfucker. Go for it. Come on. And he got him. Try hard Dota at its finest.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, I will soon be back. There we go.
Tower is being attacked.
Yeah, maybe let's quickly talk about the item build, because I didn't touch that actually the whole video so far. So what build do I like to use? Usually I also, if I can afford it, I also try to go for gauntlets to give me a little bit more strength, and that makes actually Illuminate super awesome, because then you really kick ass with Illuminate. And then just the standard support items. Get the headrest that you later transform into a mechanism. Also bracers are pretty nice. Is a pretty nice item that synergizes well with Keeper of the Light. Also a force staff to position yourself and for yourself as a rescue mechanism. So with these items you're pretty much set as Keeper of the Light, and you can help your team a lot. And anyways, you will be able to push lanes pretty easily overall, independent of your item choices, and that's what makes him a very nice hero. You can also see what I did there. I also charged again into the lane and tried to reduce the enemy health as much as possible. But overall, we unfortunately lost Ricky here. Other nice items for Keeper of the Light is Size of Vice as another lockdown item to easily execute kills for your team. Then we have Shiva's Guard. This is of course also a very nice slow item that synergizes well overall with Keeper of the Light in team fights as a supportive item. And Drum of Endurance can also be good if there's also another support hero with mechanism to give your team overall more tankiness. Alright, let's go back to player perspective. I will also put this build in the video description because I think it's a very nice build and also still works very well with 6.8. And as I have told you before, first I max Chakra Magic, then Illuminate, in between get some points into Mana Leak, and at the standard 6, 11 and 16 get points into my ultimate, but here I just spent also 1 point into my stats. And as you can see, this is very important that you always try to use Illuminate in team fights because it just devastates the enemy team. So try to stay behind, position yourself well, and boom, execute your Illuminate. So this is such a great tool in the early and mid game. And yeah, Illuminate is the bread and butter in terms of damage for Keeper of the Light. Mana Leak is also very important to make sure that the enemy heroes cannot do much. And of course Chakra Magic to support your team as much as possible. And yeah, now we're at a pretty nice and advantageous position. There you see, I used Mana Leak again, so he cannot escape and run away. And we get an easy kill. And the tower as well, as I remember correctly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And as you also have just seen, it's also nice if you know that you will probably get a tower. And if you are in spirit form, you can also use your Illuminate as a scouting mechanism. And if they want actually to make sure that the creep wave retracts again, you can also deny that. And as you can see, I also use it if the enemy wants to come in again. I still drain a lot of health and make sure that the enemy can easily get a kill. I am such a nice support. Warding, unbelievable.
Top tower is being attacked.
This is also maybe, I don't know if this is the best offensive spot, but as we got the tower, I thought it would be good also to check out if somebody is sneaking around the Roshan pit. You can also put it here if you're sure that the enemy will maybe push, but as the only option for the enemy now would maybe be to get the Roshan and run there, it's good that I covered actually these two spots here. Alright, so for now we are doing pretty good. The game looks pretty one-sided into our favor. As you can see, again, team fight, I know there's something going to happen, boom, Illuminate. And also Blinding Lights to distract the enemy a little bit, to pull them, separate them. But unfortunately I could not save Ricky. And exactly what I told you, this is something that is so cool about Keeper of the Light. You can make the enemy retract so much. And also if you go to another lane, so now if I would go to top, I can so easily push that lane again and make sure that the enemy also has to split up again, create space. So this is pretty awesome. And anyways, you never have mana problems, because if your team is doing fine, you can just use your chakra magic to recharge your own mana pool as well. So that's also why I really love this hero. He's a very useful support. But what I did not touch yet is also, you have to pay a little bit of attention in terms of early game, because you can also be a little bit squishy in early game. But usually if you use your Illuminate well, you should be fine. Because the enemy then doesn't have much options and has to retract all the time, and that also means that your partnering carry has free farm for sure. Maybe also in this situation, if I look at this replay again, it would have been nice if I would have joined top and pushed top, because then the enemy would have split up for sure. And you see now they don't know what they should do now. They defend mid a little bit and they try to go top. But you could have even let them split up even more if I would have dedicated myself to go top. And they warded here, so they know we are sneaking around here. He was just checking out if they are doing Roshan, because we were not sure where they are. And they were pretty much just clustering mid. And that is something you should not do. Also, if you're in this situation and losing, you should always try to get your farm, defend, and turn around the game. You see, I use Illuminate, I'm charging up because I know the enemy will be around this area. Unfortunately, I could not damage as much as I wanted to. I charge in again, use my mechanism to support my team as much as possible, and as you can see, boom, 2 kills. That was absolutely nice, really nice. This is also why it is so important to use your Illuminate always in team fight. This is something I really want to emphasize, and this is also one of the reasons why I show this replay. This can really turn the tide of your battle. Alright, we got the tier 2 tower. Soon we're approaching tier 3 and Rex. And as it seems, Crystal Maiden did a pretty decent job. She was really the warding bitch. Wards everywhere. But in the end, it didn't help. Poor Crystal. Poor Crystal.
Illusion!
Yeah, Pudge didn't want it, so I just went for it. You could also just destroy it, but because I saw that they will do Roshan, it is also cool to just spy out the rune spot or just go in like a retard, like I did. And they anyway expired. Actually, I'm not sure now if Illuminate is actually damaging. Not really, huh? Okay, good to know. Okay, they know something fishy is going on. They know, alright. But it's too late. Yeah, here I was a little bit afraid. But as you can see, I anyway used my Illuminate again to make sure that they run in there. And we could get a kill.
That's true domination.
Pretty nice, pretty nice. Alrighty, so let's see if we can get that tower. Little bit of a waste right there, because I was not sure, uh-oh, will they fuck me over now or not? And some chat you just ignore right there. Alright, but yeah, for now they cannot do much, because Ricky is super fat. And my little deer ran into their base.
Dire's structures have been fortified.
Is somebody running in there?
Dire's
No,
top tower
unfortunately
is
not.
under attack.
Alright, let's see how that goes. That was a little bit of a waste, a rush waste. But in the end we're anyway doing fine.
Mega kill. Own it.
And Ricky is just getting 3 kills. Ah, but will he die? Crystal will die for sure. Boom. You see, this is so nice. Although unfortunately we couldn't do much here.
They're unstoppable.
Alright, let's get that Slark. There we go. And we get the tower for sure. As everybody is down, so we pretty much can now destroy the enemy base.
Dire's middle barracks is under attack.
Yeah, and this is basically how you play Kotal, right?
Dire's middle barracks is
So
being
to summarize
Dire's
again
middle
what
barracks
we
is
learned in this
fallen.
game.
Dire's
Illuminate
middle
is really a
barracks
great
is
tool
destroyed.
and should always be used in early game to make sure that you can push back the enemy and make them scared, and also get early kills.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
In addition, also something I should mention is don't steal too many kills from the enemy, from your team, like I did. I did a little bit of kill stealing in the beginning. But make sure to also create space as a support, like Keeper of the Light.
Domination times 4. A wicked display of skill.
And also make sure to use Illuminate in every team fight to make sure that you can lock down the enemy and just deal the killing blow. And ward. That's also something I didn't do enough here. I could have warded much more. Because that is also so important that you got your vision. That's also something for the beginners. They don't use this, and it's such an important aspect of Dota.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So I think the game is pretty
Dire's
much
middle
done.
tower has fallen.
So thank you
Dire's
guys
ancient
so
is
much.
under attack.
I really enjoy also making these replay commentaries. And I know somebody also really wants me to play Bounty Hunter, and I really try to get the Bounty Hunter replay as soon as I can.
Be stopped. Own it.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
And this is how you dominate as Kotal.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
So yeah, if you like this video and if you watched until now, you are awesome. So please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, recommend it to your friends, tell me what I do wrong or did well. And Kotal approves this replay. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time.